Greetings. Okay, so this message is for my ladies. So I might post this on the Walu channel and on my Queen Esther channel as well. But I felt led to share this with you guys. I had this weird dream during my nap. And what's today? Today is the 13th, Friday. Oh, wow. Friday the 13th. Interesting. Okay, I had this dream today. And the dream, it was like about shoes. Okay, shoes and dreams for me can represent like our walk in life, our path, our journey, right? So in the dream, I was like at this, it was like a function. It was like people around my age. It was like a young generation of us. We were all like hanging out, and we were forming a circle, like we were holding hands, like we were all like joining a circle, coming together. So that circle, I feel like, can represent like the collective or community of us, whatever. So in the dream, I had these shoes. I had two pair of shoes. I had, of course, one pair of shoes on already, and then I had another pair that I was like not interested in, that I was kind of like, I could do without them. They were like neon colored. I remember for a fact that one of them was a pink pair of shoes. There was a girl or a woman that was coming to the gathering with her friend, and I guess it was her birthday, and she was celebrating her birthday, and she's like, I really need the right shoes and blah blah blah. I don't like these shoes. And I remember complimenting her on her shoes. I was like, I really like them. I was like, those are really cute. Mind you, these are not some shoes that I would wear in the waking life. They were like these chunky like platform sandals. They had that see-through kind of like jelly, like, what's it called? You know how some people wear those clear heel high heels with a little clear film over it, but it was pink. It was like a neon pink. I would never wear nothing like this in waking life. But I was like, oh, those are really cute. And I was like, well, we can trade shoes. And she was like, yeah, you can have these if you like them. Basically, you can have them, right? So I remember we traded shoes. So I put on her shoes, and her feet were way too big, because she said we were the same size, but when I tried on the shoes in the dream, they were way too big. And I was like, oh, these don't look right. Like, they didn't look like, you know, how they looked on her, right? They looked more appealing. And when I put them on, I was like, I don't like these. And I noticed that my nail polish was blue. It was kind of like kind of a dark, like a teal. Yeah, a teal color blue. And she tried on the shoes that I didn't like, and she tried them on, and she was like, I don't want these either. Like, she didn't like them. So I woke up and I was like, what is this? Like, what is this about? And I knew that this dream would not just only resonate with me, but sometimes like dealing with the whole comparison thing of sometimes thinking like, you know, your best is not good enough, and kind of wondering like, would it be different if I was in someone else's shoes? Maybe I'm not doing something right? And sometimes we can covet each other's whatever. In this case, either you or someone or people, you know, may covet or may look at your path and think that it's better or it's easier, and you might look at other people's path and think that it's better or easier. And no one can fill your shoes, and you can't fill someone else's shoes. Your walk is your walk, and their walk is their walk in life, right? So the shoe color, again, shoes represent for me journey, path, or walk in your life. Pink being for me a color of femininity or self-love. Okay, so the fact that we were trading shoes was like trying to trade each other's walk in life path, right? Like, oh, if only I could just try someone else's life out, or maybe it'd be easier if I, you know, didn't have the path or the walk that I had to, you know, the journey. No, right? So the fact that the shoes that I was trying to put on were too big for me was like, what's fit for her is not fit for me. And her not liking the shoes that I had was her also saying like, this ain't for me either. Like, what is for you is for you. And we both didn't like the shoes that we already originally had on. I felt confident in the dream at first. Like, I was like feeling myself, like I looked cute in the dream or whatever, but for some reason I wanted someone else's shoes. Like, I wasn't satisfied with what I already had, in a sense, and she wasn't satisfied with what she had on. So dissatisfaction with your own path, your own journey, in a sense. And feet can also represent journeys, of course, because it's what you use to walk around in life. And it can also represent being of a messenger as well. So it could be, you know, you think that your purpose, your path, especially if you are a divine messenger or whatever you want to call it, sometimes you may be like, oh, well, maybe if only, because sometimes I get mad at myself, be like, or God, I'd be like, why do I always got to deliver like love messages or stuff that's kind of triggering, a lot of shadow stuff? But it is what it is, because at the end of the day, whoever is meant to receive the message is going to help them, right? The blue nail polish, blue representing, it could be a high priest, it could represent psychic energy, serenity, peace, and wisdom. And me, I had to be comfortable with my calling and my path as that, as a person, a divine messenger, and be comfortable with the wisdom that I have been given, you know, just walking my purpose and my path. And I remember another thing too in the dream was one of the guys in the dream that stood out to me. He was he complimented me a lot throughout the dream, like different parts of the dream that I don't feel comfortable disclosing, because it's like I don't feel like it's for the collective. But anyway, this person kept making like references to Barbie, the Barbie doll, and that to me symbolizes an ideal, right? And it almost like a societal marketing media type of ideal of a woman, because I remember an article a long time ago where they talked about how Barbie created complexes in young girls, and even into adulthood or something like that, where they would look at the shape of the Barbie doll and how she was so-called built perfectly. And that's where the, you know, women started to, when they would get breast augmentations, excuse me, I'm probably not saying that right, when they would get their breasts done, or breast implants, they would typically have the ideal that they wanted to be looked like upon as a Barbie doll, that Pamela Anderson type of look, with the blonde hair and the big boobs and the little body, little waist. So it came to me that it has something to do with a form of femininity, or what an ideal or societal or marketing or media perception of what an ideal woman would be or look like. So again, me and this woman were coveting each other's femininity and uniqueness, even though it was our own. It's almost like we weren't satisfied with what we already had, and it was like, well, you can trade with me, or yeah, let's trade. And when we ended up trading, it wasn't fit for us. So the message and the premise of this is, whoever this may be for, is that your path, your walk, your journey is for you. And I said this before in another video, I don't remember which one it was, but there's so many different forms of femininity, that it's not only one way of being feminine. It's not only one way of being a woman. We've been taught by society that being a woman in this way is not woman enough, or being a woman this way is too soft, it's weak, it's, you know, and that's not the case. There's so many different forms and manifestations of femininity and the goddess energy. There's so many goddesses. They have the love goddesses, the beauty goddess, the warrior goddesses, the priestess goddesses. There's so many different levels of that. You know, the compassion goddesses, the sensual, the sexual goddesses, they all have their own power, and it's somewhere within us there's different aspects of this femininity that we tap into. Maybe more aspects more so manifest within us than other attributes, but nonetheless we have a collective of different types of energies within us. We're multifaceted beings. So to shame yourself or to shame another person for their walk or how they present and show up in the world as a woman, or tapping into their femininity, you know, that's unhealthy. And doing that even against yourself is unhealthy. So that is the message, you guys. Much love as always. Be blessed, be safe, take care, peace.